Welcome to the Pedal Collaborative podcast. We're so glad you're here.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pedal Collaborative podcast. I am Paul, and I am here with my good friend, Alan.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Paul.
Hey, welcome back. So we're here in November now, guys, and we're going to actually start the episode with our plug that we didn't put at the end last time, so we remember to do it. So
I feel like we forget to do these sorts of things like every single week.
Yeah, well, it's just part of, there's a lot going on, and we have very big brains. That's what I think it means. That's what it is.
I love it. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, we are going to talk about our Black Friday giveaway here now that we're in the month of November. Thanksgiving is upon us, so you guys should probably know what we're doing. So, as we teased it out, it's something that you'll probably be excited about. And Alan, do you want to do the honors of telling folks what we're giving away?
Man, I feel like you just set it up so well that if I don't do it right, it's gonna fall flat on its face, and everyone's they're gonna hate us forever.
100%.
But maybe not. Let's try it. So, all right. For those of you who have followed us for a bit, you'll know that a lot of our content has revolved around us making presets on some of the Meris big boxes, like the LVX and the Mercury X. And we thought it would be a super keen idea to give away a Meris Mercury X filled to the brim with our custom presets. Now, to get one of these things, it's really easy. Paul, do you want to tell them how they can enter to win?
Yes.
Their very own.
I can do so. And I just want to really quickly, before I say that, I want to reiterate for those who might not know, which there's a chance you listen to the podcast and don't follow everything else we do, loaded with our presets. So a lot of our presets we do for the Meris pedals, the LVX and the Mercury X, are generally going to be emulations of delay and reverbs out there. So, for example, we've done ones of the Dr. Scientist Atmosphere reverb. We've done a bunch of models of different Earthquaker. We have the Afterneath pedal. I'm trying to think of reverb. No reverb occurs to me right now while we're doing this.
But we have the Afterneath. We have Slower. We have the reverb that's on the Chase Bliss Mood. We've got all the algorithms from the Dark World. We even have the Cloudburst. And, oh yeah, both the Big Sky and Big Sky MX, all of those algorithms as well.
Cool. Thank you. I'm glad you remembered reverbs because I was blanking on the name of every reverb pedal I've ever played. So yes, so those algorithms loaded up. It's cool because there are also some, that we have designed that are sort of just unique takes on things, or as Alan has explained, I think maybe not on the podcast, but they're not always like a one-to-one of the pedal, but inspired by, because some of those pedals out there, they're a little wacky, and even though the Mercury X is incredibly powerful, some of those builders, there's stuff you can't replicate in the secret sauce there. So we'll do an inspired by patch. So it's a really, really cool opportunity to get a Mercury X loaded up with, a lot of the other reverb sounds out there. Again, they're not one-to-one, but they're pretty dang accurate. I've played with a lot of them because fortunately I get to benefit from Alan sharing all of them with me before they go to the public to make sure they actually sound good. So I get to play with them a lot. So all that to be said, that's our giveaway, and here is how you can get an entry.
Yeah, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yes, an entry to win this Mercury X. So, right now on our Patreon, we have a few tiers that are month to month. What we will be adding in the coming weeks is an annual tier. The annual tier gets you a little bit of money off of the month to month. So if you like what you're getting from us and you're like, hey, I'd love to just keep subscribing to these guys, you'll save a little bit of money if you jump to the annual tier. However, the annual tier is how you get an entry to the Mercury X giveaway. And there are two ways to do it. One, if you buy one for yourself, you are entered once. If, as we head into the holiday season, you have a loved one who likes guitar pedals and listens to content like ours, you can also gift a new feature. You can gift a membership. And that will also get you an entry for every time you gift an annual membership. So how that works, if you buy an annual membership from us on Patreon, you get one entry. And if you give 5 gifts of an annual membership, you actually now have 6 entries to win the Mercury X.
Yeah.
So
and
let's
be
pretty easy.
Let's be real too. You don't have to have a loved one to give it to them. You could actually hate their guts. and still
Yeah,
give it to 'em.
that's fair. I'll make content for the people that don't like me. I've done it before.
There you go. There you go. So, all right. So if you go onto the patreon.com/the Pedal Collaborative, you can sign up for either the collaborator tier, the core collaborator tier, or the inner circle tier. Those are the ones where you have the option to join annually and be entered in. If you want to give a gift, you go to the patreon.com/the Pedal Collaborative/gift, and then that option is there too. So now I know what you might be thinking. All right, well, you have one Mercury X you're giving away. What if I don't win it? What's my consolation prize? And the consolation prize on this actually is all of the Dr. Scientist all the Dr. Scientist atmosphere presets are.
Oh, yeah, I kind of buried the lead by mentioning that up front.
You buried it, yeah. So that's actually not released yet, and they're only going to be released to our annual members. So the only way to get those 16 algorithms for the Mercury X is to be an annual subscriber or gifter of said gifty.
Yes, gifter, yes. Yes, that is a really good point. You do get something even if you don't win the pedal. So if you already have a Mercury X and you're like, wow, I already have one, but I would love to subscribe annually, we're also giving something to you as well. So it's the holiday season, the season of giving. So we're kicking it off with a giveaway of really cool Mercury X things.
Yeah, and the best part is you don't have to remember any of this right now. Just look in the show notes and it's all going to be spelled out. So I do want to make it known, though, too, that this is something that Paul and I, as the Pedal Collaborative, are doing and are not doing it in conjunction with Maris. So
yes, good. You did all of the legalese. Good job.
Yeah.
So,
and also you should know that it's not a brand new Mercury X. It's actually the one that we've used to make all the presets.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Alan's, it's actually Alan's Mercury X. So his blue original one before he got a black limited one. So it is
right.
It is the original blue one. It is lightly used. I don't think it's like ever left your house, but and it is loaded up with all of our presets.
It did leave my house because it's at your house.
Oh, that's true. Okay, well, it left your house to travel to my house. So that was hand delivered though, not through a box. So that's even better. It hasn't been jostled.
Tis true.
So anyhow,
all right,
we're on Black Friday.
Let's talk about that.
Yes. So I want to pivot. I'm going to do the segue. In the spirit of the season of giving, we're also going to do, and I did this a couple weeks ago when we did what I called our non-holistic roundup of new pedals that released. We're going to do today a non-holistic roundup of the Black Friday deals that we've seen already released. So we're recording this on the week of November 18th. It's Monday right now. We're recording. This will be out this Wednesday. So there's a chance by the time this drops, there may be a few more. But it has been kind of cool this year to see some folks are throwing them out really early so that I guess you can get your eye on what you want, not have any of those moments where you regret that you bought something right before it dropped on Black Friday price. Kind of cool of the builders that I've seen throw stuff out there and the retailers out there.
Right. And honestly, let's start out with a couple that we've gotten ourselves, that we've taken advantage of. And, those of you have seen, and heard about us talking about Paul's, Collision Devices Black Hole Symmetry. Their whole line right now is up for a Black Friday sale.
Yeah, literally every pedal they offer has a deal on it, which is really cool.
So if you head over to collisiondevices.com, their Black Friday sale, anywhere from 20 to 40% off their stuff. And I won't say what, but Paul and I did take advantage of that over the weekend.
Yes, we have some things on the way that you will see content from soon, and I'm really excited about it.
Mm-hmm. The other one that is actually pretty neat, because as of today is like you said, Paul, we're recording on the 18th of November. We dropped the first sounds video of the JHS flight delay. And as I was making some comments with somebody on Facebook who was kind of on the fence on whether or not they wanted to get one, I hopped over to JHS's website, which is, I think, jhspedals.info. Little aside here, really weird, old website URL that I think they should add another one that is a little more modern.
I don't think I knew that they were a .info. That's very weird.
Yeah, I think jhspedals.info is what it is.
I just typed it in. That is what it is.
Yeah. Anywho, their whole line is 25% off right now. And, which is crazy because I mean, that even makes their 3 series down to like what, $75 US.
Yeah, which are really cool pedals. So that's really awesome.
The new Flight Delay takes it down to like 186, 190, something like that. So they've got that going now through December 6th. So head over to jhspedals.info or just Google JHS, and that's much faster.
Also, in case you're wondering, jhspedals.com does redirect to that too if you just type that in.
Oh, does it? So, oh, look at that. So
I'm here for tech support while you're talking about this. So
all that shade I just threw was really just my inability to update my own cache and cookies and say that there's a .com. Look at that. There all comes back to me.
So yeah, also, well, before we talk about other ones, I do a quick little aside. I know I recorded that first sounds of the Flight Delay. Very cool pedal. I know we mentioned on our new releases that was one we talked about wanting to get. We did get it. And it's really, really cool, as I've owned all 3 pedals that they emulated there, the Memory Man, the DD5, and the DL4. And it's just a really, really good job of creating emulations of those 3 pedals in a really tiny box, because I like the size that they made it. And honestly, I know in the description we talked about this. If it had presets, I would be like, this would maybe be like the intersection of all delays for me, of like, okay, if I like needed to just have like one pedal that couldn't be an LVX or a Timeline, this would probably be my choice. So really cool pedal. If you haven't checked out the video, you definitely should, because I got some cool noises out of it. I was really impressed with the range of the sounds in a simple delay as well.
It is super simple to use. It has amazing sounds. And, one of the features that I think is so killer is that the chorus or vibrato that you could get on the original like deluxe Memory Man, they have it in there, but as a stand aside or like a standalone part that you can use on any of the other delays. So you could put it on the digital, you could put it on the reverse. So that really gives you, that's like 9 different options, like, with or without. It's really cool.
Yeah, a lot of combinations, really, really cool. So
yeah. So really good job. Good job on that video too, Paul. Really nice.
Thank you.
But yeah, anybody wanting that one, you can easily go grab that for 25% off at jhspedals.com, or if you're old like me, .info.
Correct. So anyhow, what other Black Friday deals? I know. What else have you seen out there? I've seen quite a few, but I'm like trying to like remember and just.
So I've seen some crazy ones on some of the Boss big boxes. And I think someone had posted that like Amazon, you get the DM101 for like $260, and that's normally like a $500 pedal. So I was looking it up, and while it's not on their website per se, on Boss's website, a lot of the big box stores like Sweetwater, Guitar Center have really good prices on some of the Boss stuff. Even like the SDE 3000D, the dual, like, Paul, you and I did the SDE 3, that little tiny one that was a really, really great little, single format. The big brother of that, which is not the rack unit, but it's, what is it? It's like almost like the 500 size. The
I think it's the size of their 500 series. Yeah.
They're like half off right now. So you can go to Guitar Center and get them for like $250.
And that's actually not that much more than the regular SDE3 price.
Correct, because the SDE3 price is, because it's so new, it didn't get knocked down.
It's like $220 or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, man, I do not need the SDE 3000, but I'm really tempted by it. So you're going to have to tell me no.
I will. We'll talk about that after the episode. So.
Yeah. But no, they've got the RE202 on sale. They've got a lot of their stuff is on sale. So definitely something to check out for sure. If you're into the Boss stuff, which you should, because it's good. It's good. And here's one that totally did not expect to see this. And in my searching, I was looking up Keeley, and I'm seeing like the Keeley Octoside down to $200 right now. Not on their website. Let me go back to where I found it.
I think it's through like all retailers. I think I saw that.
Yeah,
I think I saw that at Sweetwater.
It's the Black Friday stuff. Yeah. So it looks like actually a lot of their stuff is knocked down. So like the Octoside's down about 20%. Yep. That's 20% off. Their hybrids, so like the Super Rodent and things like that, are also knocked down. I'm going to, without, looking over the entire thing, I'm going to make a blanket statement and say it's going to be their entire lineup, with maybe a couple exceptions on the retailers, are 20% off. And that's wild. That's awesome.
Yes, and if you've listened to any previous episode, you know that I'm a big fan of the Octosi, so I would recommend grabbing one while it's at that price because it's a really, really great pedal. It is.
I don't know if it made it to the episode last week, but I do love how we were talking with Nick from Wonder, and you're like pitching that to him. That was pretty cool.
I'm pitching that to everybody. It's like
I know it's a great pedal.
We're a little teaser of something we're gonna do either beginning of next year, end of this year is the best of 2024 awards, and I am gonna put one of my nominees for best pedal overall of 2024 is probably it's in there. The Octosi's in the running.
Wow.
So just making a claim now boldly. Feel free to roast me if there's something I'm totally forgetting, but that one's definitely on my list because I've had endless fun playing with that one. So
yeah. No, it really is good. That was one that once you got it, it never came back to me.
Yes, and it never will probably. So you have other fuzzes I'm sending your way though. So
that's true. Wait, you do? Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Wait, what? No, that's super cool.
Back to Black Friday deals.
Black Friday. Well, okay. So I mean, some of these haven't come out yet, right? And I think, as you mentioned earlier on, like every day we might see some more companies kind of throwing out their deals. I mean, we know that like Walrus is going to release their whole art line, like a new art line for Black Friday. And I think they also do a discount as well.
Yeah, they usually do like 20% off, I think, which I'm curious, since they just actually, just quick aside, they just dropped that Voyager Mark II, which is very cool.
They did.
Very cool updates. At some point, we'll check that one out. Also, they made a black one, so I'm very happy. But I'm wondering if that one will be included in their Black Friday deal, because that I feel like we might have to wait a while for Voyager Mark IIs if it is, because that one's one I think people are going to like a lot.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be. To be honest, I think they're pretty good at just kind of opening up their whole catalog to those things. So we'll have to see. Another little one that is kind of under the radar that I know is coming, SaturnWorks, which you can go onto their website or on Reverb, but they make a lot of like utility stuff and switchers and that sort of thing. They're going to do a 20% off for Black Friday. So I don't know when that actually officially releases, but that is coming.
I also want to add to, and honestly, too, a really cool thing for everybody listening. If you want to drop ones you've seen that we don't mention here in the comments, either on the YouTube or even the comments on our Spotify, we'll make sure, because, we're here for the people to get the deals on the pedals, because we like the deals on the pedals. So trying to share them with everyone.
Thank you. I was hoping to get there with my transcendental.
Yes, I got us there. So.
I don't know what word I just said. I made something up.
I think you meant transcendent, or I'm not sure where you made up a word. It's fine.
I made it up. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
There are no rules anymore. You can use words however you want. The other one I saw that just is something I've actually personally been intrigued by, and I don't think either of us have played with it, but the IK Multimedia Tone X, I believe, has a deal as well.
Yeah.
I saw that somewhere, and I think it might be that like if you buy one, you get some emulators, some IRs to load or something like that.
Okay.
But I was just curious because that is one of the tiniest pedals that does some of those cool amp sims and emulations.
The Tone X1?
Stuff. Yes. Yeah, the little guy.
Yeah. The little guy.
So
I'm pulling that up now. I think you might be right.
I think I saw it somewhere. It was scrolling on my Instagram feed and losing things is always sad.
I know that Sweetwater is doing a thing right now where you instantly get like $30 off. It's like $150 for the Tone X1, but you get all of their Tone X collection and you get the Eminence IR sample pack from them.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's, I think, some of it might that's actually probably all through the end of the year, all through the end of the calendar year, you can get that.
Very cool.
Yeah. So pivoting from there, because like you said, anybody who's listening, if you hear about any deals, pop them in the comments, and then we can all share the love. But Tone X being a modeler, Paul, we did over the weekend, we threw out on Instagram a little poll.
Oh, great
And
segue. I just got to applaud
You like that?
one. Great segue.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you.
good job.
So are you like literally applauding, or are
I
you
was
going
going to
put it,
clap,
like,
and
in
then I realized that the
can?
mic might peak, so I did not clap. But
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I will never have a segue like this again. No, so over the weekend on Instagram, we popped down a poll asking what our next group of content should be in terms of presets that we make. Again, the whole reason why we're giving away the Mercury X is because we've spent so much time with the Mercury X and the LVX making presets. And we want to expand that into something that is useful for everybody. And what better way to find out than to ask? So on Instagram, we had popped out this poll, and we asked between the HX Stomp, the Eventide H90, which, Paul, they just dropped a black one, just for you.
Yes, I saw that.
Mm-hmm. And then the Zoya Empress. No, sorry, that's reversed. The Empress Zoya. And I would say the results were really, really close, and winning by just the fraction of a margin. The HX Stomp beat out the Eventide H90. So that means that we will start to be adding Stomp content to both the channel, but also like the Patreon for presets.
Yes, yeah, I'm excited about this. So I don't know if I mentioned this in any of our Meet the Hosts or any of our journey. So I was a pretty early, well, not an early, but relatively early in the lifespan of, I think, year 2 of a Helix adopter. And then I realized I like, all my standalone pedals too much to be an all-in-one type guy. And I got the Stomp. And I've really enjoyed sort of like pushing the limits of the different things to Stomp. And it's cool. The Stomp is awesome because I think something as we create content is I'd like to also show people how you can use it in different ways with the effects loop, as an all-in-one fly rig. There's so many different things it can do. And I'm really excited to hear what you all think about ways we're using it. Give us ideas for trying stuff, plugging things in different. I love plugging things in differently than I thought of it. And actually, the poll inspired me. So I am actually working on playing with a new project starting this week, actually. And so I was putting together a pedal board sort of just to figure out, kind of the sounds of the band. And I put my Stomp on my board, and I'm using it in actually 3 different ways that I'll make sure to share once I figure out exactly how it's going to work, because I'm still trying to figure out the routing. Nice. But nice. I'm excited to do Stomp content because it's something where I really love my Stomp. It is fun. It always finds its way back into something I'm doing. So I'm excited to share and collaborate with you all on different ideas or ways we can create content around that too.
No, definitely. That's super cool. I mean, I want to not have one. I want to not love it. And I think it's because I don't use it to its full capacity, which is why I kind of wish that there was something else, but nothing else seems to touch it. Nothing I've tried anyway.
Yeah, it does so many things. I would say this, it's not in my opinion, it's not a one size fits all solution, because I always feel like if I take it as a fly rig, it'll get me by if I'm playing like really basic rhythm or lead guitar, but I'm always like, oh man, I wish I had this, or I wish that, just because I know what other pedals can do and I want to be able to do it. But it is, if you use it just as an amp simulation and that's all you use it for, well, they're also going to be pushing an update sometime this fall. I know the developers talked about this online, and you're probably going to get like
winter time, dude.
Yeah, I know. It said late fall though, so I think it's going to be sometime in the next couple weeks.
Did they say what year?
This year, 2024. Okay. So, but like every time they do an update, they support the thing so well. It's like you get like 10 to 15 new amps. You get a bunch of new effects pedals. Sometimes they re-optimize the DSP so you can fit more in a chain. It's probably one of the best supported pieces of hardware out there, at least in my experience with it. So it's cool, like just as an amp sim, like, hey, you have like so many models of really great classic amps in there, and you're probably going to get more in a few weeks, which is really cool. So, and then obviously,
that's exciting.
There's tons of other things you could do in there in the box, but I think what's cool about it is even if you don't use it to its full capacity, it's great at what it does. And I'm excited through this series of content we're going to be working on to explore and see if I can use it better too, because that's always, I think, what happens when we do these things.
I love it. We're growing.
Yes, we're growing.
Baby steps, we're growing.
We're growing right before our own eyes. So I'm excited. Anything else this week? Before I get into my question of the week, because I got one kind of on theme.
No. Except minus for those of you may have seen that JHS, which owned like the Ross brand, they discontinued the entire Ross line.
I saw that.
Yeah. And they price killed them down at $79. And I think they crushed the internet when that happened. But I'm very interested to see what the scalpers do with that on Reverb. So also just say no to scalping. All right, Paul, what's the question? Scalping is the worst. All right, well, the question actually fits in perfectly off of that. So in the spirit, segue. Damn,
I know
I'm on
you
fire.
You are, and you didn't even know what I'm going to ask, so that was fun. So in the spirit of this episode, where we're just sort of like, we're giving stuff away, we're talking about the deals we found. I feel like this was just a like information episode, talking about what's out there. So I saw a question pop up last night on the Reddit, the R Guitar Pedal subreddit, which I spend time on. I'm not going to say how much. And the question was, how do you guys sell old gear? The question said, I've made the switch from all the analog and individual pedals to just a digital modeler, and I love it. Not going back. How do you guys sell your pedals semi-quickly? Reverb, eBay, question mark. Thanks, guys. So one, also on topic, since we talked about the Stomp, I didn't even remember that was in there, so we're killing it today.
Love it.
But I thought this was a good question because I've actually gotten this question from people before, because there's a lot of people in my life who know how often I flip pedals around.
Sure.
And so people are like, oh, how do you do it? And so I feel like there's a couple plugs that we can also share with our listeners here that maybe they don't know about, because there's a chance you and I have been doing this for so long in so many different forums that there's a chance that we might share something that people haven't stumbled on here. So I think that's cool. Yeah. So I think I was trying to think about this in the last year, the place where I've sold most of my old gear. So firstly, both you and I trade things just as much as we sell. Would you say that's probably accurate? Maybe trade more than sell?
Probably trade more.
Yeah. I think we probably do. So for me, it's sort of, I want to put an asterisk on how we answer this, since we both, we're always looking to try new things, not necessarily get cash out of it, unless there's like a thing we want to buy that we need the cash for.
Right.
But for me, I think it's been the subreddit r Let's Trade Pedals has been most of my trades this year.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think that's you too?
Me as well, or the band you too?
You as well.
Sorry.
Second time we made that joke today, which is really upsetting.
Well, the first time we weren't recording. But anyway, I would say that's fair. That's definitely fair.
Yeah, our Let's Trade Pedals, it's cool. For those of you who might not know about it, it's a forum that you can go and list out what you have and then what you're looking for. You also can say like you're looking for cash. I've actually sold some pedals there where people are like, hey, I don't have anything to trade, but what would you sell it for? And just message them. Right. And then it's really cool because there's like kind of a checks and balance. Because I know one of the things when you're online, avoiding scalping, as Alan mentioned, for when you're buying stuff. But there's also always sort of the like, oh man, how do I know this guy's going to actually ship the thing? Or how do I know?
Yeah.
There's a really cool checks and balance in the Let's Trade Pedals subreddit where there's a little bot that somebody coded. And the way it works is when a trade gets completed, you can say, hey, pedal bot, I traded my this with, and then you put the user in, and they got this. And then both parties can confirm that. And then it counts as a confirmed trade. So when you're trading with someone, you can see like, oh, this person's got like 38 confirmed trades. That means that they've been confirmed by the other party, which means that they're not likely to screw you over on a sale or a trade.
Right.
And I like that as like a checkout check. I know a lot of, Reverb has feedback, eBay has feedback. So there's like cool ways, I think, Facebook Marketplace, obviously. But I think that the way it works on that forum is like, it's another layer of, you can leave feedback either way, but this like sort of requires both parties to be invested and get their trade level up as they go.
Right. Well, I'm curious how many trades I've done on Let's Trade Pedals. How do I find that out?
It's under your name. I'll go look while you're talking.
Okay, you go look. Yeah. Okay. So I think sorry, you brought up a really good thing, and then it's safety, right? How do you do it safely? Because okay, scalping is one thing. That's just paying too much, or that's some people just do it and whatever. Like there's only like 100 petals, and there's only one available, and you have to pay extra. That's a premium, whether we like it or not. That is part of it. But in terms of making safe decisions where you're protected, here's, you can go through eBay or Reverb, and because of their platforms, you are protected as a buyer a lot more officially. So if a seller doesn't sell you, or, if what they're selling you isn't exactly what they're saying it is, like, well, that's a breach of sale, and those platforms, be it Reverb or eBay, there's ways to protect you as the buyer. Then you have the trade forums like Let's Trade Petals and Facebook. And then an old one that I still use quite a bit is thegearpage.net.
Yes. Yep.
They have,
page.
they have, like you mentioned, Paul, they have their ways of doing flair or feedback or whatever the case is, to say that so-and-so has this many positive trades or negative trades or whatever the case. And, the more someone trades and the higher those numbers are, then the more confidence that you can kind of give yourself in knowing, like, hey, I can trust this person. But when doing trade specific, and we'll talk about purchases on those formats in a second. So trade specifics, one way that a lot of times that Reddit makes you do this sometimes, and it's a good way to do it, is to ask the other person to send you a picture of the petal, and partially so that the condition that you know what you're getting, but you can ask them to put like on a handwritten note or whatever. I often use like an iPhone or something like that, but the date and maybe their username. So we have u/petal collaborative, whatever our name is, on Reddit. Like if we don't do trades on Reddit, but if we were to, it would say that name, the date, and have a picture. So that way it's kind of like that proof of life, right? So that they have it in their possession. You're not getting scammed. And you can do that on Facebook, and you can do that on TGP, and you can do that anywhere where you're interacting with somebody asking for proof of life of that specific trade, and that they have it and the condition that it's in. So that's very important. Now, if you're purchasing something, a lot of times people will ask you to either use Venmo or PayPal Friends and Family, or some form of payment that doesn't incur fees. I mean, I like that. I really do, because I don't like paying fees. But if I don't know the person, I don't know, it's a safety thing for me, and wanting to make sure I don't get scammed. I don't do it. I will use PayPal Goods and Services, which charges like a 3% fee, or Venmo now has the option to be able to do basically buyer protection. Or if you're going through Facebook, like Facebook Marketplace, you can buy through Facebook, and they give you some protection as well. And if you don't know the person that you're trading or buying from, that's actually another way that you can kind of protect yourself with some buyer protection.
Dude, you gave such a holistic answer. There's nothing else to add. Also, the answer is you have 50 trades on the Let's Trade Petals subreddit.
50 trades.
Yeah, I think I have like 11. So good job on.
Oh my gosh.
I was actually thinking about this. I've traded a lot on LTP, but I've also done a lot of Facebook Marketplace sales this year, just because we had that big box of petals we sold. So that was a lot of Facebook Marketplace on there.
And I have like 38 positive trades on the gear page. And who knows how many on Facebook and Reverb and eBay and all of them. So
any of you out there who are like, oh man, is my gas too bad? Do I flip things too much? Alan and I are here to tell you, no, we have benchmarked a higher number, because we are diseased, and it's a good fun disease. So
there are other people that are worse, Chris.
Yes, there are others. So, but. Well, I think that's it for this week. As we mentioned at the top, we'll put some stuff out around the Black Friday giveaway. I think we may, and this is, I'm saying we may have that open before Black Friday for those of you interested in participating.
It's open now.
Okay, well, then it's open now. You can go and start getting entries. we are going to keep that open, I believe, until the second full week of December. So it's not like you have to rush and do it all Black Friday weekend. We understand that there's so much other stuff competing for your money and your attention. We don't want to be making people feel stressed about anything. So it's going to be there for a couple weeks. You can gift it, add your entries, up your membership. And we are excited to do more things like this going forward. Hopefully this is not a one-time thing where we give away a pedal or presets. So if you have anything to add on deals, drop it in the comments, and we will see you all next week.
All right, everybody. Peace.
Bye.